Getting interrupted is usually frustrating, but when you're desperately in need, those interruptions can feel like a matter of life and death. We don't have time to wait. We don't have time to be interrupted. We don't have the capacity to deal with it. But faith compels us to go on believing. We keep the faith, even as things seem impossible. We all make plans. We have plans for the day and upcoming weeks. Some people even have 5-year plans. But perhaps one thing more certain than our planning is those plans being interrupted. We may plan our life, but life is often a story of unexpected interruptions. At times, those interruptions are challenges, and sometimes they are unexpected joys. But many interruptions test our ability to trust God. By faith, we learn to embrace life's interruptions as the place God so often does miraculous things. We learn to respond with compassion and faith when things seem impossible. No surprise, in this Bible encounter, Jesus was once again surrounded by a crowd. Even as he crossed the Sea of Galilee by boat, another crowd was waiting for him on the other side. Then a man named Jairus made his way through the crowd. He came to Jesus with a desperate need. His daughter, a little girl, was dying. He needed Jesus' healing power to touch her, and Jesus agreed to go with him. You can imagine how anxious Jairus must have been when Jesus stopped to strike up a conversation with a woman in the crowd who had touched his robe. She turned out to have had a medical condition that had plagued her for years. But couldn't Jesus have waited a few more hours to talk to her? Jairus probably didn't mind Jesus helping someone else, but certainly his crisis was more pressing. His was the more urgent need at hand. Jairus' restlessness must have turned to deep sorrow when messengers arrived and informed him that his daughter hadn't survived. He hadn't made it home in time with Jesus. The messengers advised him to not trouble Jesus any longer. There was no longer any need. Jesus overheard them and spoke to Jairus. "Don't be afraid, just have faith." Jesus went on to Jairus' town, to his house, to his daughter's room, to her bedside. Jesus spoke to her, "Little girl, get up." And she did. She got up from death and lived by Jesus' words. Some of you have been waiting a long time. Perhaps it feels like things are hopeless. Jesus hasn't made it in time to respond to your need. Distracted and interrupted, someone else got their miracle, and you only got disappointment. I can't pretend to explain why or what Jesus might be doing in your life. You know it's not something that can be explained away anyway. But what I can do is remind you of Jesus' words spoken to a father in just as hopeless a situation. Jesus said, "Don't be afraid, just have faith." We may find ourselves interrupted, our plans broken, our prayers left seemingly unanswered, but that is never the final word with Jesus. Time is no constraint. The conclusions of the world are not his words. He calls us to keep believing. That may seem naive or even silly to some, but for those who have seen what Jesus can do, there's no other possibility. We know nothing stops him, nothing distracts him, nothing keeps him from coming. So we go on believing. We keep the faith. We keep believing and trusting Jesus. I know you face things that feel impossible. You have messengers telling you it's over. Just give up. But I want to stand with you in faith. I want you to see what Jesus is capable of. I want you to choose a way of living that believes beyond what is possible by our own power or conclusions. I want to keep my faith in Jesus. I want you to hold on to faith too. How will you keep your faith when things feel impossible?